Well, we had a really horrendous crash between these two planes, American Airlines flights and a UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter. And Trump gave some comments about it, right? He called it a tragedy of terrible proportions, which I agree with. And then he segued into blaming DEI for this happening. Brilliant people have to be in those positions, he said. Um, he said that there were efforts by the FAA to hire people with disabilities like dwarfism, missing limbs, and intellectual disabilities. And then he went on to blast Mayor Pete, who served as Biden's transportation secretary. And Pete responded by writing, "As families grieve, Trump should be leading, not lying. We put safety first, drove down close calls, grew air traffic control, and had zero commercial airline crash fatalities out of millions of flights on our watch. Time for the president to show actual leadership and explain what he will do to prevent this from happening again." Now, I'm no fan of Pete. I remember his very lousy scammer presidential campaign, but I can't really criticize anything he's saying there. And more to the point, what's so sad about Trump, and the one thing that does make him different from a lot of past presidents, is that he, more than any of them, at least in office, I know Biden had a lot of gaffes too, but more than any of them, he has this ability to put his foot in his mouth. Like when he says this incident is terrible, and it's a tragedy, no one is going to dispute that. In fact, if he had come out and said we should have an investigation to determine, what were the statuses of the pilots, what issues, if there were any, what was the plane lacking with, do something to like get to the bottom of why this happened and stop it from happening again. Again, nobody would be upset or complain or have any issue with his commentary. But instead of doing that, he goes into this tangent about how the Obama administration had DEI hires, and that could have been the cause. He said it was common sense when they asked him what his proof was to support this. And I said, every time he gets a chance to just be above the fray, can never do it. Like, how insane is it that we're almost 8 years removed from when Obama was even in office, and Trump is still blaming him for the current state of things? Oh my God. But yeah, I'm normally not a fan of Pete, but he responded pretty adequately. They didn't have any fatalities out of those millions of flights, and Trump would be better off actually trying to get to the bottom of this, and whether that's doing an investigation or some other type of reform, to like actually see what caused this to happen, because planes don't, like, from commercial flights, do not just crash and hit something else. There's clearly something went very wrong here. But if you're expecting leadership from the American president, you can forget about it.